either.
We didn't get to see it last game, but it is going to be coming out in game 2.
Yeah.
They play it so good, and like they'll move it around the map as well. They're not just like stationary inside lanes. They're able to play it where they can bring it mid and like dive towers and stuff. Sometimes.
Keeper of the light.
Oh, Ember Coddle response to that. Classic combo. Just feed Ember mana, lower cooldowns, more chains, more slides. Bit of a playmaker. You can, if you have the Flame Guard as well, that can get on top of the Visage and just burn his cloak stacks to make it so you can kill him a bit easier here. And when you're playing with a hero like Medusa, you definitely need to be playing fast with all your other heroes minus the Medusa, because she's going to be farming. So makes sense here. Looks good.
There's Alacrity's best hero.
Not the Puck. I mean,
No.
the Puck's banned this game. Maybe you probably would have taken it if it was in the pool.
But Ember's his most played, and he plays it a lot too. Like in his last series, yeah.
Wonder if Carl will end up taking this monkey mid, or if he has something else in store for the Ember mid, because Ember is one of those heroes that it has some really bad lane matchups, but a lot of people don't have the cojones to pick it. Like Shadow Fiend and stuff like that can like really, and monkey mid is incredibly good versus it as well. Just people don't want to focus on the lane too much, and we'll see what they decide to do here. I'm very interested to see.
Do you feel that you can kind of see where Dawnbreaker is going to go for NGX.SEA now, having more heroes picked?
Oh, it looks like it is mid monkey. They want to put Tiny on 4 or Tiny on mid.
Tiny could still go mid, right? But it's impossible to say.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like Tiny or Monkey's probably going mid. Tiny could be a carry, but I don't think that's the greatest. Yeah, they want to wait to see a little more before they pick their carry here. So the Dawnbreaker, it's purely preference. Like, if they want to put this on support, because like right now, I feel like they need another stun / type of playmaker right now. Because if their supports are Dawnbreaker and Coddle, it's a lot of like utility damage, but they're really lacking stun here. So Dawn, I'm okay with it being core and then picking another stun, whatever it might be. Or if they put Dawn 4 and pick a stun, would be okay too.
Would you like Coddle to go 4 or 5? Like what? Like let's say they put Dawn +3, Coddle 4 or 5. Would you prefer?
I'd probably like to see Coddle lane with the Dawn, and then they just pick up something like
a Shaman, Lion.
Yeah, not Shaman versus Visage. It gets a little hard to say at that point. I would say Bane too, but all these like single target like channeling spells are really bad versus Visage, so it's kind of tricky on like picking support that's good versus Visage. There's a lot better options in the off lane if they wanted to end up picking like a Mars or something like that. You can get the shard at some point, it'll help a lot. Playing versus these heroes. I mean, I'm kind of like selling myself here on like the Mars. I think Mars looks really good, especially versus Monkey King 2 and Treant.
Okay.
Kill all the trees in the team fights.
Yeah. Do you have any heroes that stand out for you, Sheep?
For
The NGX, yeah, because T1 have overall last pick.
I wouldn't be super opposed to Pango. Never mind, they just banned Pango. I'm so upset.
As you're saying it. A Night Stalker.
I don't like that at all, I think.
Why is that?
Yeah, I'm not keen on it either.
I mean, they have like Treant with the root, Monkey King has Arena. I feel like it's really hard for Night Stalker to run into the fights here. Visage doesn't particularly care if Night Stalker's on him. The damage block works really well. The birds can still hit him. I just feel like T1's heroes are totally fine just holding their ground. And Night Stalker is a type of hero that wants to like pick off squishies in the back. And I'm not seeing that squishy target right now for T1 to pick off.
Yeah.
Is it?
Oh, and also like Night Stalker, the other element to him is the vision and jumping, but like the only hero that can really jump is Ember. Like your Medusa's not going to be able to take advantage of it the same way like a PA would. So I don't even see the benefit of like that.
Well, I want to bring in Lyrical and GoDz. I'm going to ask GoDz if he feels that this is the same issue as Game 1, that NGX.SEA just haven't really addressed any of T1's heroes.
I think some of them. I mean, these lanes again for T1 look really strong. I'm going to steal something that Lyrical said. You know, they picked Medusa into Monkey, so they'll happily play the Monkey King as a carry because that's, you know, generally considered at least a decentish carry matchup for T1. So I like what I'm seeing from T1.
GoDz has taken what you're going to say, Lyrical. Do you have anything else? Any more tidbits of information?
I'm going to steal what he told me, which is that this is Mizu's hero, the Night Stalker. He feels comfortable on it. So, you know, just stealing from each other. It's the way we go.
I like it. You know, the information's being shared. Now, between you, Sheep, and yourself, Fia, are you all for then the Mizu Night Stalker comfort, or is just T1's laning phase going to steamroll them again?
I'll go with T1.
I feel Mizu does not play Mars, and he's just going to go back for his 4-bracer Night Stalker here.
I
And
do love it.
he's just going to go with comfort over counter picks. So we'll see if that works out.
Are you going to pick a team?
Oh, yeah, T1.
Okay, all right. Well, they're both in agreement then. T1 worked out for them in game 1. Let's see if it's going to work out for them in game 2 as we do jump into that.
Thank you so much, Nat. You know, I thought that he was going to bust out the Night Stalker Coddle pick together, Omega Lol or something like that. The old school memes, you know, but it's fine. Yeah, I'm really curious, like, what sort of the dynamic is with the drafting and everything else. Because every time I look at these NGX drafts, I'm just like, what the heck happened, you know? It's crazy.
Yeah, it feels like it's very passive when it comes to their draft. Like, we're gonna let you guys do whatever you want in the lanes and in the early mid game, and like picking Deuce is just the epitome of that. So I'm very worried about just, I think, playing Deuce into a team like T1 when they have a draft with Visage, Monkey King, Tree and Tiny. Like, everything they've got is just like tempo heroes that are going to put Deuce on the back foot unless Deuce can have a win her lane, and that's a big if to me.
Yeah, big ifs. Man, also when the mid laner just says enjoy and that's it, like, oh my god, that's striking fear into the heart of everybody. It's terrifying right there.
Yeah, I love it. SEA, all the team's always friendly, always having some banner, but
30 seconds
yeah, saying, you know, enjoy your mid matchup. Alacrity's getting to play as Ember though this time around. I feel like he's in for, you know, a slightly better lane maybe, but it's tough playing into the Tiny.
Yeah, it's very tough when you start out at half HP too. Throw a little tree at him. Very annoying. And that's going to ensure most likely these top 2 runes, and maybe they can get a third. Carl's here.
Yep. Some good damage. Carl may have to fight his way out for it.
Begins.
Yeah, Zephyr moving on into Boombe tries to get it, and in fact is going to be able to sneak that one away. So that will mean NGX set themselves up for 2 bounty runes at the very least.
Nice.
And Whitemon. That was interesting. He's made sure that he couldn't block. That's awesome, actually. Huh.
Yeah, just, you know, giving Carl a slight edge in this mid wave as far as having it slightly more on his side. Get that bit of extra harass in for the Tiny.
I like that. Well, you can see also that they're bullying and back Yokum here. Whitemon keeping him pressured all the way out and around, keeping an eye on him, and will tank through one of those eliminate blasts afterwards. As down bottom, Cuckoo obviously got to play last time with the Dawnbreaker. This time just snipes him.
Yep. The Boombell was giving it. I mean, it's not really on Boombell. I think at that point, Deucey, you just... Soul Assumption has a pretty crazy cast range, so... Just came too close.
Well, that's not a great start. Oh my god. And Zephyr just on this tree coming in and denying creeps in their face. I mean, god, this like melee versus melee thing they've got going on with Visage just feels so good. I feel like T1 have come up with a really good strategy here.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the answer is. Like, these melee 4s, like, I mean, we saw... What was it? Dawnbreaker last game, this time Treant. These heroes that give Soul Assumption stacks and fight, like, you know, basically this Dawnbreaker and Treant fighting is helping the Visage because you just throw out these nukes just constantly. So to me, the answer is, like, you have to just ignore fighting and you don't want to trade harass. But if you do that, you're being harassed without harassing back, and then you lose the regen battle. So that's why this Visage is just such a strong offlaner.
Yeah, And I mean, even though he's gotten a lot of sort of nerfs, as we're taking a look at some battles up top there, we're even seeing like some adjustments being made by these players, because part of the strength of Visage last time was you go this double null talisman, you've got lower mana costs on Soul Assumption. Right now Cuckoo has 4 mangoes, so he's just spamming them out constantly. As Mizu is getting bullied and pressured back and just completely off the wave now, so still struggling in this laning stage.
Yeah, you know, it's only 2.5 minutes in, but top 3 CS all on the dire side, all with, you know, 3 to 6 denies as well. So it's definitely a bad sign that these lanes were set up to be T1 favored already.
Very
going on
annoying.
Mizu up top, but actually he looks like he should be okay.
Yeah, they're able to keep him away, but Gabby's just pulling the creep wave over with them.
Body blocks?
A couple more punches. Whitemon doing just fabulous work there. And this double wave now pushing into the Monkey King. Like, this entire creep wave is going to get denied out, and Mizu can't do anything here.
He's look like he clicked Mizu. His items. He's got no regen. He's just sitting with a casual bracer. He may just die again. There's a boundless strike ready.
Oh no!
Body
Chase, Void, Boundless. Couple more punches is all they need, and tries to smoke even. I don't know. There was a misclick there. Yikes! Oh yikes! That was like all the buttons press.
Was that the radiant? I couldn't actually tell. So it was a radiant smoke, not a dire one. I just saw the smoke animation.
Oh, it could have been a.
Could have been
it
a
might have been
BM smoke. Could have been the BM smoke. Like, hi, you're dying. Let's smoke. Honestly, that'd be a pretty baller move. I'd be down for that, but I don't. I have no idea whose it was.
That's fair. Well, I mean, yeah, as you mentioned, top lane going very rough for them. Bottom lane, Boombe is actually getting some pretty good damage there into Cuckoo, but with the salve ready.
Once.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, okay, I'll take these souls. He's gone 2 points in soul assumption. I think last game he had just the 1, but with all the fighting going on, he's gonna. I think it was a 1-1-1 build into max Grave Chill. He probably goes back for Grave Chill just because of how well it synergizes with the familiars, but constant fighting, and Cuckoo just wants to embrace it.
He's having himself the time of his life right now, and I mean, mid lane, Alacrity is going to get some good damage here onto Carl. Ava toss back and pops the water room as Yokum is going to die up top to Gabby, but you know, they're keeping some pretty good pressure on there. Carl chase back, does not have any extra regen, so he's gonna have to go all the way home, but did at least get the XP from that wave first.
Top lane, jumping on Mizu.
Some trouble. Whitemon has been just a terror with these body blocks. And move on in. Boundless strike afterwards. Connects onto both Gabby. 3-0-1. What a start.
He's maxing Jingo, at least getting 3 points. I don't know if he'll fully max it, but with the Orb of Venom and the Whitemon body blocks, this Whitemon Bane, he's, you know, early boots, and he's just using them to full effect to completely crush this lane before it hits nighttime. Now it's nighttime, Mizu can at least probably run away. I think Gabby still is going to own him in this kind of, like, you know,
in your
farm
dream
trade.
And Soul Assumption back off cooldown, wasn't able to get the kill, but still, I mean, it's really rough. And Cuckoo,
he's got another Soul Assumption.
Yeah, boom, he might just be dead afterwards. One more punch from downtown. Cuckoo gets a 6-0 to start. I mean, I think that the other thing about that, you mentioned the boots. Like, Mizu has shown that he's been going for this, like, max bracer builds, and that means that you don't have the movement speed to get away. It's like having an extra stun.
Yeah, that's where Monkey King is like, usually it used to be the meta when Monkey King was like picked every game, like as an offlaner, you just have to buy boots. Like you go boots first on like a Mars or something, and it sucked. It didn't feel good. Like the itemization kind of changed over times where it's like, okay, you can trade better with bracers, but you can't trade against Monkey as a melee hero. So I totally agree. I think not getting boots is a bit of a mistake here. And they're just getting kill after kill.
I mean, even the one lane that was going well. Yeah, it was going well for Alacrity, and now that rotation sets him up really well. Man. And you can see Mizu going back for the boots now, after not even finishing the third bracer. He's just decided he has to get them, and like makes sense.
Yep. This game looking pretty grim. Coddle will TP back in to refill Alacrity's bottle, give Carl a rough time in this mid lane. It's definitely the one lane that, I mean, it's not even going, like, it's going well in the sense, like, Alacrity's having a good game, but he's not winning his lane. It's just an even trade so far.
Right. And the other 2 lanes are definitely going quite well. Carl actually has 15 denies, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's ahead by 200 net worth. So in some ways, I mean, if you're gonna call it either way, it actually is a Carl victory in this mid lane.
Right.
Dire's middle tower
And down bottom, Zephyr keeping the pressure on. In Your Dream out of mana. We'll get the Mystic Sake regen a little bit there, but Zephyr staying on target. I mean, Lumi's beating into him, but now that just might mean that he goes down anyways. Tries to give the high five. They also take down the coddle up top. I mean, it is just all bad right now for NGX. This has been a catastrophe.
Good news, Siege Wagon died bottom. Okay, that's
there you go.
You know, there's a silver lining. The creep aggro just didn't come in time, so Cuckoo just hit 6 with that Siege Wagon. Maybe they could pressure the tier 1 bottom, get down to half health, but it died.
Dude, all right, for all you listening out there, this is how you know we're reaching. The good news, they killed a creep, okay?
And not even the heroes, the tower killed a creep. Oh, Alacrity.
Mid lane.
Oh my god, he can't even remember it out. This game's just over. I mean, it's not like truly over, but they feel they don't feel like they're playing Dota. Like, it has the feeling of a game that's just lost. Like, if this was a pub game, they would be saying, let's just AFK and found it. Like, that's what it feels like right now. Like, even though it's not, you know, actually over.
Right. I mean, that was really interesting too, right? 2 of the hardest hitting heroes in the game at this level. 100 base damage on Tree, Tiny 120 base damage, and they just punched the Ember to death. He felt like he was safe, but he was not. Wow. They're gonna have to dig deep here, man. They're gonna have to dig real deep. Cuckoo, this is a good way to do it. Looking for the kill. Bird stun, catches onto both of them, and then TP out. Oh, no points in Searing Chains. Yikes. Oh man.
And mid lane, they're going on In Your Dream. Not sure if they've got this kill. Avalanche soon, but not soon enough.
They're playing it a little bit safer now.
Here comes Gabby. Dude, Gabby, I love this guy. He's ready to fight again. He's like, where's this Dusa? We're going in.
Throws it back, chase forward. You can't run away from the monkey man as the boundless strike is there. And yeah, Gabby getting involved. 5-0-1. Carl, he just got to run to try and kill off this creep wave. They need to make whatever space they can. Excuse me, Alacrity, not Carl. As got to just get the hell out of there. And if he gets caught, he's done. We'll chase him all the way back. Whitemon there, and then the Remnant away.
He wanted to find him, but couldn't quite do so. Yeah, this game is in a rough spot. I mean, if you're Nigma Galaxy.SEA, you gotta try find a kill somewhere, and I think that's just where it's like, who's the most alone? It was Cuckoo before, like the rotation for Ember, I think was the right one. They just, didn't have a way to cancel his TP. Cuckoo kind of outplayed him, so what they needed was just +1 hero. Like, if you're going for these kills, you can't do it with 2. Bring 3, bring 4. Just make sure you get a kill. Overcommit resources to try and salvage something.
Right. No matter what, it's not going to feel good. So at least make sure that, the thing that doesn't feel good is at least something positive.
Yeah, and like last game, like if you were doing that, it's like, oh, but the TP's free farm. This time it's a monkey, so it's not like this hero that's going to instantly win the game, but your 4 non-Medusa heroes have to be just finding kills and making plays somewhere on the map while Medusa farms. Like, that's got to be the game plan if you're NGX.
Well, for T1, the game plan is just keep the momentum going, and that's what they're going to do. Have birds down bottom, take the tower with the catapult, and still hunting for more. Whitemon chasing that Dawnbreaker courier around. In Your Dream, only level 5 right now. Currently, one of the lowest levels in the game. As Carl gonna get chased out of mid. They turn, throw avalanche toss, and then backs out. Not quite level 6 yet on Whitemon, but does have the tome in inventory, and we'll probably bring it out pretty soon.
See where T1 go next. But now it's like they don't want to group up too much. They want to keep playing the farm game at least a little bit. But if they can hunt this Medusa, they'd love to do so. And Gabby's not even trying to farm. He's just hunting and following this Medusa.
Yeah. And that's a Diffusal Blade. Oh, man. In Your Dream goes down. Dude,
melt.
Gabby has twice her levels. He's level 10. She's level 5.
That's the levels. Look at the farm. It's almost like triple. It's like 2.5 times the farm.
I have never seen that before in a game of Dota. Avatos dead. Yikes.
Radiant's
Yokum
middle tower is
next.
under
Chase
attack.
down, looking for the finish. We'll find him through the trees, possibly. No, doesn't go for it all the way. Boundless Strike just ends him. Zephyr
Gets
finally
the
going to
tree
get
in.
gone on,
One
but
kill.
they can't drop him. Stoneforge
No.
with the turn.
Yes.
They will find one kill, but it's going to come at the cost of the rest of them. Avatos dead again. Carl double kill. So 17-1 here. And at 12 minutes, they're going to take the other tier 1 tower mid.
Radiant's middle
Wow.
tower has fallen.
Yeah,
Dire's top
I
tower is
you know,
under
I've been in
attack.
these kind of games, played Battle
Radiant's
Cup,
middle tower
you know,
is
run
under
into Team
attack.
Liquid, and I'm just like, this kill score, I look up and it's like 25-0. I'm like, how the hell do I run into Team Liquid in, you know, Battle Cup? And your game plan just becomes, let's 5-man smoke, get 1 kill, and then GG out.
Right, exactly.
That's where I feel like NGX are almost at. But of course, you know, this is Pro Dota team playing DPC. And, well, unfortunately, they just can't make anything happen.
Trying to get out of there.
Nope.
Oh.
Perfect chain stun.
Cuckoo making it happen with those familiars. Yeah, I mean, it just feels like the draft that they got, they never really had a chance here on T1 to get off the mark to make things work. First, Medusa ulti used to run behind tier 2 away. She can't farm anything.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Anyone who leaves base is getting... Any carry who leaves the base to farm is being, like, hunted. They're kind of ignoring Mizu, but I think anytime they see or have a feeling of where Deuce on the map, they're going to run at her. Particularly Gabby. Gabby's just stopped hitting creeps for, like, the last kind of 5 minutes, it seems.
Just killing heroes, farming them up.
Oh, they ready
Keeps
to
the
fight
punches
this, though.
in. Boundless Strike. Yikes! Gabby, so unbelievably strong at this point in the game. Although, can they kill him? This would be huge. Big
lifesteal.
blast coming through, trying to live through it. Will it be enough? Gabby eventually goes down. Have they overextended? Cuckoo also in trouble. Signs of life for NGX.SEA, as they will all tip Carl for not showing up to help him. I'm sure it's coming soon.
It's like, come on, we're just fighting. You know, let's have some fun. Why aren't you here, Carl?
Radiant's
But yeah,
middle
Gabby
tower
just,
is
you know,
under
bit off
attack.
a little bit more than he can chew. They just couldn't quite get the Jingu stacks up fast enough to keep life stealing. Once he used that balance at the start of the fight too, it just meant, you know, lacked that little bit of firepower. So, small little win for Nigma Galaxy. They're gonna need a lot more of that.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty rough. Fiend's grip afterwards. Umbit tries to stop it and will come through with the kill.
Okay.
A couple more. Carl now maybe in a little bit of trouble. He does have Avalanche again in a second, so it looks like he's going to be fine, actually.
He wanted to go in, but gets his regen rune broken and his Blink Dagger continuing to get cancelled as well. So good play by NGX to make sure they disengage.
Well, and, you know, there are some things like, you know, we talk about Medusa and how poor she is. In Your Dream is just not going to have a good time no matter what it feels like.
Yeah.
But you've got 4 points in Chakra Magic right now for the Coddle and an Ember that's got some decent levels.
Oh,
if they
Gabby's
want
in
to fight,
again.
it's got to be around that. But this is the problem, is that Medusa, the big carry that's supposed to salvage all this, is going to die again.
Got an
Mizu
overgrowth.
on top of all of them. But yeah, with overgrowth there,
Saves
the
Carl.
follow-up coming out in just a second. Very scary. Nightmare afterwards onto Alacrity. Meanwhile, Carl does go down. Sleight of Fist able to get the kill. Yokum will get punished. Triple kill for Gabby. And he might keep going for a bit more here.
Yeah.
Eyes. Oh,
Oh, they
wait.
broke the tree,
Okay.
Dire's
but
Cannot
they've
do
got no
anything
remnants or
afterwards.
one remnant. Yeah,
Radiant structures.
I think T1 maybe feeling like they don't want to throw this one. They're gonna back off, even though they are very strong with these 3 heroes.
Right. Wise decisions. Playing it safe.
Carl could have lived there. His blink came up and he chose not to blink away, and then Night Stalker nuked him from like trees with the Dark Ascension. So then it broke his blink, so he got chased down. But yeah, not the end of the world. As it was so funny. Gabby respawned after that last fight, and he's not even he's ignoring creeps half the time. It feels like. He'll get, like, he might cut some waves bottom, but he just went straight at the enemy jungle as soon as he respawned to just keep fighting.
Carl has also decided to go for a Midas, as Mizu is going to get nightmared. Don't know if he turns and keeps going for more. Looks like he won't, but yeah, Carl decided that that's the item instead of phase boots for him. He had a moon shard queued up for a little bit too.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Kind of interesting.
Radiant's bottom tower
think-
is under attack.
It's like, okay, we're going to be constantly fighting. My farm might drop off. Let's just get a casual Midas to maybe keep up on some farm as well as levels.
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom
TP Alacrity in bottom, but he's not trying to defend. He's just trying to take a creep wave out and then remnant himself out of there as T1. This mid lane ward is causing a lot of problems, giving them all this vision. Something that NGX just haven't been able to scout out yet.
are scanning.
Avalanche, find one, toss back, Whitemon. Oh, they cut the tree again, but I don't think that he gets out of here. Gabby has the boundless if they need it, but won't even.
Dire's top tower.
So tier 2 tower taking bottom as well as the outpost, and they are really trying to put the clamps on this game.
Yeah, and it just feels like Medusa is never going to be able to get enough farm. Like, she can't leave her base to farm Ancients or do much.
Right.
Ooh.
Wasn't
Threatening an
quite able to
overgrowth
get
there
the
in
overgrowth.
Alacrity. Yeah.
And Gabby sees Mizu down bottom, and we'll try and go for a quick jump, it looks like. Tries to get out. Boundless. Oh, come off cooldown in 1 second. Couldn't get him.
Okay. Not the end of the world, but I like how T1's playing this. It's just very suffocating. They're Blink toss back.
Yeah. Looking for
Got
him.
grip though.
Ready to go if they need to. Whitemon waiting, hanging out to the side. Roots there onto Carl, and Mizu's gonna go down. They drop the ulti. Dawnbreaker hits onto nobody. Now in very far, trying to kill Whitemon, still hanging on to that grip. They kill off the Dawnbreaker, and the Root caught one. Alacrity trying to escape. Diffusal there. Gabby chasing and hunting him on the side. Whitemon almost dropped, but they will get him there with the grip. So they find themselves a third kill. T1. Very, very solid
Radiant's
stuff.
middle tower
Yeah.
is under
It's
attack.
they're taking this approach like, let's just position ourselves right outside their base. Like, instead of farming creeps, T1 is just denying farm from the enemy. So there's like many ways you can kind of play the economy game, and rather than trying to outfarm their opponents, they're just trying to deny every bit of farm on the map from NGX while, you know, getting some creep waves. They're just ignoring the jungle entirely. And
Right.
with the heroes like Monkey King, this is not like a fast, efficient jungle farmer, so kind of makes sense that they're just doing everything possible to make Medusa's game just impossible to play.
Right. Yeah. And they're still getting what they need out of the map. They are finally going to get out here on NGX as Roche is being taken, but I mean, this is not really going to you know, solve all the problems, particularly when T1 decide to go at him again. Wraith Pack done now for Cuckoo. Gabby about halfway to a BKB. So it's just going to be claimed, given to the Monkey King, and T1 will see what they decide to do with this if they just keep that high tempo momentum going. It feels like they're thinking about it.
Dire are
Yeah,
scanning.
T1's coming out. The only reason they were able to get out on the map is because they were taking Roche, and T1 know this. The second they take Roche, they smoke, and they're like, let's, you know, we got to put them back in their base. Like, you know, that's where they belong. These guys should not be able to get in front. They're pinging Boombell. They know he's kind of in that kind of the enemy Ancients area, stealing some farm. They're going to go hunt him down. They're just hunting wherever they can.
Yeah. Making sure that there's nowhere that's safe for them to be out on the map. A 12k gold lead now. They will get a D ward, and Boombale, he is going to TP out from there. So outpost reclaimed, and T1, there is still a tower tier 2 up on the top side. I'm curious if they just go high ground here, or if they want to like sort of use this as a farming Aegis and not throw away that lead that they've built up.
Yeah, I think it's probably the game plan doesn't change too much with it. Will be more of what we saw before. I think as far as just sticking right outside the enemy base, and then probably start poking at the high ground with Visage summons. Monkey King is not a good high grounding hero. But as much as possible, they just want to find kills. And Alacrity, ooh, he had the one charges. But Avalanche.
Oh, but the Avalanche just barely on the edge.
Oh. He thought he could one TP away, but Carl just showed up in time, right as the TP was about to complete.
Radiant's
That was
top
really
tower
good.
is under attack.
It gets there just in time, and now, you know, you've got, this is going to be Moonshard done on Tiny. Hasn't finished off the shard yet, but this is just so hard to fight into. And everywhere you look, they're controlling all three lanes, and, you know, NGX, they can't leave their base.
I don't think that's changing anytime soon, unless they can somehow put together some kind of miracle fight. And
Oh my god. Gabby, Joe's right on in your dream. We'll get the ulti off. And Gabby forced to pop the BKB, just being a little bit safe with his moves.
Yeah,
Even with
Chakra
the
Magic
Aegis.
has to be kind of used in those clutch situations. The only reason he had the mana was because of the Chakra, so Yokan probably has to keep that Chakra cooldown always ready for that mana burn. But doesn't feel good.
No, this
Radiant's
is
top tower is under
very
attack.
painful Dota, and I mean NGX again. There is nothing you can do but kill these creep waves, and maybe if you see Gabby on a lane, you can see Alacrity down bottom here trying to pressure out. But I mean, there's a ward there. They see him moving out and gonna try and catch him with Cuckoo baby. It's really just completely suffocating gameplay going on right now.
And they do have at least some numbers seeming to group around this bottom lane, but still no monkey can. I love that Gabby's just like hunting while the rest of his team are like, yeah, let's go high ground. And he's just like, no, but Medusa might come up here and farm. So
Right.
he's making sure that this Medusa does not leave the base. And now he'll join his team once he recognizes that, okay, they're grouped up as 5 in base. Oh, I'll join. Let's go push.
Right. And no Tiny to toss back in this one. No Bat Rider. None of those heroes that can try and punish the heavy positioning forward. Gabby does get dropped fairly low. And if there is one thing this NGX lineup does well, it is hold high ground. Slight spam with Chakra. Medusa annoying. But is it going to really stop the eventual push from coming? It feels unlikely.
Yeah, and the issue is it's like that, you know, when you're ahead, just get further ahead. So even if you don't break high ground and get the base, if they're not leaving their base, right now you see T1, they're still farming most of the lanes, like farming the jungle. This gold lead is getting bigger and bigger. It's now 17k, and Medusa, she's not farming. Like, Coddle has to blast out these waves. Like, Coddle's taking some farm. Like, Medusa's now smoking just to leave the base. To try, I guess, farm top wave. If anything, I think she wants to get into that top jungle.
Yeah, I think they leave this one alone here.
Smart. I think ignore that creep wave and go in the jungle. Yeah, they're.
Oh my god, they're already there. They have a ward though.
Dire
They have a ward. They're gonna see this.
Oh,
Dude, T1 was so ready. Oh, and now that they see it, wait, they're getting past it though. They're past the ward. 4 bounty runes. Let's go. All right, that's what they needed.
That's a value smoke. Smoke to get 4 bounties. Hell yeah.
Oh, and they see her though, and now like gets to
TP
hit
out.
3 creeps and then runs away. Jeez.
You know, that smoke didn't quite get the result they're looking for, but it found another. It found a result just as good. So
Yeah,
we take those.
that was a good chunk of gold.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's like spread evenly. You know, Medusa's, she's not much of a communist. She wants all the gold for herself.
Right,
She doesn't want to
exactly.
redistribute this wealth. And yeah, they're like, this Coddle's getting some good farm, but hey, you know, we don't care about the Coddle.
No, Coddle is the least important hero. I mean, actually the most important. Make sure Alacrity can spam stuff. But
True.
You were mentioning though the sort of push out, rather the difference of like farming an individual area or trying to like, you know, keep them stuck in base. It does feel like T1 have gone back a little bit more and like loosened the hold that they had on the jungle slightly. So there is some area now for NGX to get some farm. They're getting their neutral items as well now. They're almost going to have the full set. But this does set up for T1 to pressure top now.
That's great. 25 minutes in and they hadn't farmed all their neutral items. But because they left the base, T1's like, oh, we don't have Aegis, that's fine. We got Tiny. We'll just walk on in with a Moonshard Midas Tiny. What a build.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the easiest thing in the world.
They just kind of got caught sleeping. Like, they defended their high ground perfectly when they had Aegis, and suddenly T1 just walk on in with no defense in the top lane. I think they just weren't expecting that one. Boombell. He dead.
Wow. I mean, it is telling, right? Like, in a way, you know, the moves that T1 are making, they're the ones that are dictating all of the pace of how this game goes. They're like, okay, we're gonna leave you an opening so you can leave your base, so that way we can take racks, you know?
Yeah. And they definitely feels like they're kind of the puppeteers right now and just, you know, kind of playing with their food a bit in some ways. As, you know, it's very quickly just rising and rising in terms of this gold lead. It was 17k gold when they had the Aegis, already up to 21. They're just kind of posturing around the enemy jungle again. Now they've got one lane of racks, likely waiting for the next Roshan. Just taking things fairly methodically. They don't want to, go through any of those risky plays like that can turn the game like we saw last game. Not that I mean, it would take a lot of them with how far ahead they are here.
It's, what's interesting is it's been the rare 0% win rate for almost 10 minutes now. If we look on the graph, they got a feeling pretty early about how this one was gonna go.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm gonna be honest, but yeah. Even before that, it was 99%. Since like 17 minutes, it's been 99%. And before that, it was at like 98.
Yeah. That's kind of wild. Well, Mizu finds Cuckoo. Can't go stone form yourself, although does not have enough damage to kill them. BKB, turn on to Medusa, Ava, toss. She's dead. Bill also needing to run away from this. Wants to get in there. Another tree cut. So it's about the best that you could hope for. They've been getting a lot of value out of these quelling blades, but now Toss is on top of him. Another tree cuts, avalanche onto both. They got the grip. Gonna try and make it work, but the Dawnbreaker ulti just means Boomba is gonna die that much more quickly. Oh, Gabby chases in. Ultra kill for Carl. Throws his tree. Even with the shard, make sure that he gets the finish. They might get the Bane kill. A couple more caught there by the Boundless Strike. That's 3 of them. Cuckoo beating down In Your Dream. Carl, give that man his rampage. Might find another here. Alacrity trying to escape. But this freaking Tiny is too strong. Double rampage. Keep going for more. Another round of Avatos in a moment here. Baby Carl punches, triple rampage. Give him another one. Keeps going for more. GG won't play this called.
Leave the base. There's a cuddle.
Yeah. Gilcum doesn't want to give it to him.
He's got it. He's got it. He's got it.
Bam! 4 of them. Not bad. Yeah, Carl. The quadruple rampage to end the game. Yeah, he's happy. There's some happiness going on.
Yeah, I mean, this game was over 5 minutes. Let's be real. I mean, it was over in the sense like it was. You could see the writing on the wall, and there was no real way back in except for massive throws, which is not something a team like T1 is going to do.
No,
just dominant gameplay. There's Visage is looking like a hero any team playing T1 in future weeks is going to have to address. Either come prepared with answers or ban it. The same way T1 we're like, okay, you want to do Nature's Prophet, we're going to show up with a solution to it. I think that's what future teams are going to have to do with Cuckoo's Visage.
Yeah, this is something that needs to be addressed, and definitely running melee versus melee in that supporting role is not going to be the answer. But for now, at least, T1 put on a hell of a performance, a recovery from that earlier loss that they had in the season. And NGX now going to sit, I think, at 1-3, so they're going to need to come up with some new answers. But for now, at least, we're going to go to a quick break. When we get back, the panel is going to break down all the action and hopefully get an interview as well with one of the players. But we'll see you all on the other side right after this.
Welcome back. It was an absolutely great performance, a great series from T1. If you guys haven't noticed, Sheep is not with us, so slight update. She is actually quite sick. She doesn't hate you, Twitch chat. Don't worry. It's not because of you guys. She is just ill, so she's not going to be joining us for the rest of the day, unfortunately. You're lucky. You just get Fear and I for the breakdown. Yeah, so much. The accumulation of MMR between the two of us has actually skyrocketed now that Sheep isn't here.
About that negative value bringing us down.
But we are going to break down this game too, and this whole series where T1 has probably looked the most disciplined we have seen in quite some time, Fear.
Yeah, they only had like 1 throw per game. That's very good
big
for
increase.
big development for T1 here. No, they stomped both games. Like specifically, both side lanes just were unplayable in both games. This game, the Medusa, I think she was level 5 at like 11 minutes into the game, trying to farm the triangle. It's the saddest thing I've ever seen.
It was so sad to see her relegated to the triangle so early on, but that laning phase was just difficult for her. Did you think the matchup was going to be that much of a stomp? I know that you said it was going to be a struggle, but to that extent?
Definitely not. I thought Medusa would do okay in the laning stage. Like, not die that many times. They just outplayed him, simply put. The tree plus the Visage lane, incredibly strong. And the other lane, that like, I questioned the Night Stalker pick. I was like, this can't be good. And T1 did like a really good job on deciding, hey, we're gonna put Monkey King on core because we see a Night Stalker, and that's just an unplayable matchup for the Night Stalker. So Yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say. Both lanes in this game, like, they were struggling so hard and they couldn't make anything happen on the map because they just didn't have the levels.
Did you like, I guess, the map movement of T1, how aggressive they were playing, and I guess how much they were putting that pressure on NGX.SEA?
Yeah, I mean, Gabby was the standout player for me in this series, honestly. Like, his Monkey King, his item selection choice was really good. He went for the Diffusal Blade instead of going for that greedy Battle Fury. Realized they're in a commanding lead of this game and decided to play incredibly aggressive throughout all the early game, just going to the Deuce's triangle with that Diffusal Blade and continuously fighting, not really focusing on getting his own farm up. It's a very high skill thing to do and very smart, honestly, instead of just like farming mindlessly and letting Deuce have her game back.
Do you feel that there was any way for NGX to come back into this game? Are there items he could have picked? They could have picked up?
I mean, they didn't have enough farm to buy any items in this game, unfortunately. It was that bad.
Yeah, it was an absolutely, like, I'm going to say it again, dominant performance from T1. We normally say they take a while to ramp up throughout the DPC, but this is just week 2. They've bounced back incredibly well. So well, in fact, that we also get a winner's interview from them. It is going to be Cuckoo joining us for this. Cuckoo, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on the win. Tell the rest of the team we said hi, by the way, but how are you all feeling after the win?
Feeling relaxed, I think, after the game.
Yeah. How was it to have to bounce back from losing the series against RSG last week?
I think we're always expecting that we always like so weak at the week 1. So yeah, RSG is like a strong team also. So yeah.
Was there anything specific that you felt went wrong in that series that you really worked on before today?
I think just the game 1 against them is like kinda good draft for them because they have like Bloodseeker and Kotal. I think they are really prepared against us that time. Then the game 3, I think it's just really hard because the Leshrac start with the 3-0 at 2 minutes, something like that.
Do you feel you were more prepared for the drafts in this series? And are there any sort of heroes you guys are trying to place a lot of priority or importance on?
I think my coach is like really prepared for this series, the draft, and everyone is just listening to our boss.
Your boss March.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so tell me a
He
little
just
about.
say,
Oh,
he
go
just
ahead.
say, shut the fuck, something like that. Don't talk, something like that. Yeah. Okay, go.
All right, so tell me a little about your in-game communication. Who talks the most and who talks the least on the team?
I think it really depends on the game. It's like if the Carl is like not tilted, you're gonna keep talking. And it's like if he feeling like strong, I think he's the one most yeah, something like that.
Okay, we don't have Sheep with us, but she did want to ask you a question. If you thought that there's space for an Orchid Ags on a Visage in Pro?
Orchid Ags?
Yeah.
I think it's not off-lane build.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
I'll make sure to
Maybe the Ags is like good, like second or third item, but it's not really good at first item, I think.
Okay, awesome. I'll make sure to relay that message onto her. But Cuckoo, thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations on winning this series.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Yep.
Well, there you go. The team communications, it's whoever's sort of doing the best. Do you think that's the best way for a team to have comms like that?
Yeah, he really highlighted Carl there. He's like, if Carl's not tilted, he'll talk a lot and didn't really mention anyone else. But yeah, I think it's pretty important. Like, whoever's having good game should have space to speak. So very interested to see that that's how they do it as well.
I'm looking forward to seeing how the rest of T1's DPC will be played out, but that's the end of a Division 1 SEA games for today. We can have a look at these standings so you guys know where all of the teams are. Like we pointed out at the start of the day, Talent up there with their 2 series wins. Now, unfortunately, with NGX taking that loss, having played over half of their series, they've only got 1 series win on the board. T1 having played 2 series, they're 50-50. 1 win, 1 loss for them, Pia.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for Talon Boom later on this week. I can't believe it's happening so soon.
Already?
Yeah. It's a really hype match. I'm really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, it definitely is. But yeah, that's kind of going to be it. I'm not used to the day being so quick for SEA. If you guys want, though, please stick around because we do have some content pieces that we'd like you to see before we do head on over to the Eastern European broadcast.